We're living through this massive shift in what AI can do. For the longest time, we've had AI that knows stuff, right? It can write a poem, it can ace a history test. But the real game changer, the thing that's happening right now, is that we're building AI that can actually do stuff for us. We're moving from just knowledge to real, tangible action.
And I'm sure you've felt this. You're talking to a chatbot that feels incredibly smart, but the second you ask it to do something super simple, like, hey, can you check on my order, or can you book a meeting for me? It just hits a wall. It can't. That little moment of frustration, that's not a bug. It's pointing directly at the big limitation AI has had for years, and it's the key to understanding what's next.
So, what is going on here? Why the disconnect? Well, it all comes down to this fundamental gap in how most of these large language models work. There's this huge chasm between their, encyclopedia of world knowledge and their complete inability to take any specific, meaningful action in your world. And this right here is the perfect way to picture it. Think of it as the AI's blind spot. On one side, it's got the entire public internet, all of Wikipedia, everything. But on the other side, it's completely walled off from the data that actually runs your business or your life. Your company's private database, your inventory system, heck, even a simple weather app. That gap is what makes it feel so powerful, yet so useless for practical tasks.
Okay, but what if we could just get rid of that blind spot? What if we could give our AI agents actual superpowers? Well, this is where things get really, really cool. And the way we do it is with a concept called custom tools. So, what on earth is a custom tool? Well, put simply, it's a piece of code that gives the AI a very specific skill. It's like a bridge that connects its big brain to an external system. And honestly, the best way to wrap your head around this is to imagine your AI agent is a brand new, brilliant employee you just hired. Okay, so right now, your new AI hire has a brain and can browse the public internet. Great, but it can't actually do any company work, right? A custom tool is like handing that employee a company phone and installing all the apps they need to do their job. One for the sales system, one for checking inventory, one for the internal calendar. Now it can actually start working.
Quick pause for a second. If this video is helping you understand AI and Azure concepts more clearly, take 1 second to hit the like button so YouTube knows this content is useful. And if you're interested in learning more about AI, Azure, and real-world AI development, consider subscribing to the channel. I regularly post practical tutorials, labs, and certification guides like this. Also, I'm curious, what AI topic are you currently learning or struggling with? Drop it in the comments below and I might create a future video around it. Your support really motivates me to keep producing free educational content for the AI community. Thanks you all for watching.
So, why go through the trouble of building these tools? Well, the payoff is just enormous. First off, you're automating all those repetitive tasks, which obviously boosts productivity. But you're also seriously improving accuracy, because you're pulling data directly from the source instead of relying on a human to get it right. And maybe most importantly, you can build solutions that are perfectly tailored to how your business actually runs. All right, so we've decided to give our AI a toolbox. But what kind of tools are we actually putting inside? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. There are a few different ways to build these skills, and each one is designed for a different kind of job.
Let's break down the main options here. First, for really unique workflows where you need total control, you've got function calling. The analogy is perfect. It's like building a brand new custom app from scratch. Then, if your company already uses cloud software, you can connect your AI to it using Azure Functions. Think of that as logging into your company's existing programs. And finally, for public services, you use an open API. That's just like your AI using a public weather or maps app that's already out there.
Okay, the theory is interesting, but this is where it gets really powerful. How do all these tools translate into actual, useful superpowers for an AI in the real world? All of a sudden, the floodgates open. In customer support, an agent can now instantly look up your order and process a refund right there on the spot. For a retail business, it can check real-time stock levels and even start to predict when you'll need to reorder. In a hospital, it could securely pull up a patient's chart to schedule the correct follow-up. For an IT help desk, it could actually try to fix your problem instead of just creating a ticket. I mean, the possibilities are just about endless.
But here it is. This is the most mind-blowing part of this entire thing. It's not just that we can give the AI a list of tools. It's how the agent learns to use them, completely on its own. Let's just walk through its thought process. A user asks, "What's the weather at the ski resort?" The agent understands the question, but it also recognizes, hey, I don't have live weather data. So it scans its toolbox, finds the custom weather tool, and here's the magic. The agent decides, all by itself, to use that tool. The tool goes and gets the data, hands it back, and the agent gives a perfect, accurate answer to the user.
Now this brings up a huge question, right? Does this mean developers have to map out some crazy, complex flowchart programming every single possible conversation to tell the AI exactly when to use each tool? You might think so, but the real answer is a complete game changer.
And there it is, the core idea. As the source material sets, you don't need to write code that explicitly calls your custom tool. The agent itself decides. Just let that sink in for a second. You don't program the when. You just give it the tools, and the AI figures out the rest.
This is a fundamental shift in how we build software. We are moving away from the old way of doing things, where a human had to painstakingly draw out every single step in a giant flowchart. Instead, we're empowering the agent. We're just giving it a toolbox filled with powerful skills, and then trusting its intelligence to figure out which tool it needs for the job and when. So we've seen how these custom tools can turn an AI that just knows things into one that can actually do things in the real world. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Now that an AI can be given pretty much any skill you can think of, what's the very first, tedious, time-consuming part of your day that you would hand over?